Back in the early 2000s, a grocery trip felt simpler for many older Americans. You walked in with a paper ad, picked up milk, bread, meat, coffee, maybe a bag of frozen vegetables, and the price on the shelf usually matched the price at the register. Cashiers knew the regulars, and pharmacy counters still had time for a real question. Nobody needed a password just to save 50 cents on cereal. Now that same trip can feel harder before the cart is even full. Digital coupons sit inside apps many seniors don't use. Self-checkout lanes ask older shoppers to scan, bag, pay, and then show a receipt at the door. Walmart closed all 51 Walmart health centers in 2024, while many seniors were already counting on one stop for groceries, medicine, and basic care. Dollar General now has more than 20,000 stores, but close doesn't always mean easy when prices ring up wrong or aisles are blocked. Food recalls add another worry, especially after a prepared meal listeria outbreak reached 28 illnesses, 27 hospitalizations, and 7 deaths. For someone living on Social Security, a few dollars, a long line, a missing cashier, or one unsafe product can change the whole week. Today, we're counting down 5 grocery chains seniors may want to be careful with, and 5 that still make the trip easier. Number 5, Food Lion. Food Lion has been a regular grocery stop across the Southeast for decades, especially in parts of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and nearby states where many older shoppers don't have several full-size supermarkets nearby. For a senior who only gets one ride a week, the closest store often becomes the store they have to use. A woman who doesn't like driving after dark may choose the Food Lion she can reach before sunset, even if another chain has better reviews 2 towns away. A retired couple may stay with the same location because they know the parking lot, the produce section, the frozen aisle, and the cashier who still remembers them. Food Lion built its appeal on basic groceries, familiar store brands, weekly deals, and stores close enough for seniors who don't want a long drive. Food Lion's parent company, Ahold Delhaize, also owns Hannaford, a chain many shoppers in the Northeast know for a more full-service grocery experience. Food Lion serves many smaller southern markets, where older shoppers may have fewer backup options if the local store feels understaffed, confusing, or hard to use. A food safety warning lands harder when the product is something an older shopper may keep in the freezer for weeks. In August 2023, Twin City Foods recalled frozen sweet corn and mixed vegetables sold under several labels, including Food Lion, because of possible listeria contamination. FDA's notice didn't report any illnesses, so this is a recall story, not an outbreak story. Listeria still carries a serious warning for older adults because people over 65 face a higher risk of severe illness. Frozen vegetables are also the kind of product many seniors actually use. A person with arthritis may buy mixed vegetables because chopping fresh produce hurts. A widow cooking for one may stretch one bag across several meals. Someone trying to eat a little healthier may keep frozen corn, peas, and carrots around because they're cheaper and last longer than fresh produce. A bag that looked like an easy side dish now has to be pulled from the freezer and checked against a recall notice. Food Lion's MVP Rewards program can also create small problems for older shoppers. A deal may look simple in the weekly ad, but an outdated phone number, a broken account, or the wrong loyalty setup can make the register price higher than expected. A few dollars at checkout can mean putting back fruit, skipping a snack, or hoping the gas tank lasts until next week. With Food Lion, one location can feel easy for a senior, while another can feel tiring before the cart is half full. A well-run location can still be easy enough for an older customer, with familiar aisles, fair prices, and a trip that doesn't require crossing a giant warehouse. A thinly staffed location feels different when the deli counter is backed up. Checkout lanes are slow, and no employee is nearby to help with an item on a high shelf. Older shoppers who depend on Food Lion have a few things worth checking before they trust the trip: recall notices, receipt prices, and whether the store still has enough people on the floor. If Food Lion is your main grocery store, has service gotten better, worse, or just more uneven where you live? With Food Lion, 2 stores under the same sign can feel very different. Safeway is a little different because many older shoppers don't walk in expecting a problem. They walk in expecting the store they remember. Number 4, Safeway and Albertsons. Safeway has been part of American grocery shopping for generations. Older customers may remember it as the kind of store where the weekly ad made sense, the meat counter felt real, the pharmacy handled refills, and a cashier could answer a simple question without sending everyone to a screen. Plenty of Safeway and Albertsons locations still serve seniors well, especially when the pharmacy is staffed. The aisles are clean, and checkout lanes still have people working them. A familiar store can carry a lot of emotional weight for older shoppers. A lot of seniors kept going because the store felt familiar. Same bread aisle, same pharmacy window, and usually someone at the meat counter who could answer a question. They know which entrance has the shorter walk from the parking lot. They know whether the pharmacy line gets bad after lunch. They know which cashier bags carefully instead of crushing the eggs under a gallon of milk. Money decisions made far above the store can eventually show up in the line at the counter. During the proposed Kroger-Albertsons merger fight, Albertsons pushed ahead with a special dividend worth about $4 billion. Attorneys general in several states challenged or criticized the payout, arguing that pulling that much money out of the company could hurt competition, workers, and shoppers. A senior standing in a pharmacy line doesn't think in merger language. She notices whether the line is longer than last year, whether the pharmacist looks rushed, and whether there's enough time to ask about a new blood pressure medicine before the next customer steps forward. A CSE's 2026 customer satisfaction data put Albertsons at 74 out of 100, down 3 points from the prior year, and near the bottom among major supermarket names. Plenty of locations still work fine, but a 74 score lines up with the slower service and thinner staffing many shoppers complain about. Safeway gets harder for seniors when the same trip suddenly means waiting longer, asking twice, and leaving with less patience than they came in with. A pharmacy counter with less time, a digital coupon that doesn't work without an account, a long checkout line, and prices that feel high for a fixed income can all land in the same shopping cart. A 78-year-old customer managing 5 prescriptions doesn't need a pharmacy visit to feel like a speed test. She needs enough time to ask whether a new pill conflicts with the one her heart doctor prescribed last month. If your local Safeway or Albertsons pharmacy has gotten slower, shorter staffed, or harder to use, share what changed in your town. Safeway used to be the kind of place where a lot of seniors expected service. Walmart became important for another reason. Many older shoppers started counting on it for food and medicine in the same trip. Number 3, Walmart. Walmart earned a lot of senior loyalty through cheap medicine. Back in 2006, its $4 generic prescription program changed how many older Americans thought about pharmacy prices. For a retiree taking blood pressure pills, cholesterol medicine, or diabetes medication, a lower price at Walmart could make the monthly budget feel less painful. Over time, the Walmart became more than a grocery stop in many towns. A senior could buy food, pick up medicine, compare over-the-counter prices, grab paper towels, and handle several errands without driving across town. A big store can be tiring, especially when the parking lot is crowded and the pharmacy sits deep inside the building. But one trip can still feel easier than 3 separate stops when gas is expensive, knees hurt, and driving after dark feels risky. Walmart's appeal for seniors came from cheaper prescriptions, broad selection, and fewer separate errands. Then Walmart Health began disappearing from the plan. In April 2024, Walmart announced it would close all 51 Walmart Health centers and shut down its virtual care service. Walmart pointed to a difficult reimbursement environment and rising operating costs. Older shoppers who had started using Walmart for basic care weren't just reading a business update. They were looking for a new clinic, another provider, another set of forms, and possibly another drive. A senior in a rural county may not have several backup options waiting nearby. Self-checkout adds another sore spot for many older customers. Plenty of shoppers use it without trouble, but a person with shaky hands, weak vision, a heavy cart, or confusion around produce codes can feel rushed before the first item scans. A receipt check at the door can add another awkward moment after someone already scanned, bagged, and paid without much help. Walmart still gives many seniors low prices, a useful pharmacy, and a product selection that can replace several errands. A senior who buys groceries and fills prescriptions at the same Walmart may not have an easy replacement when the clinic closes or the pharmacy hours change. Every clinic closure, pharmacy hour change, or checkout shift hits harder when the store has become part of a person's weekly routine. Did your Walmart close a clinic, reduce pharmacy hours, or push more checkout traffic towards self-checkout? At Walmart, the hard parts often show up near the pharmacy counter, the self-checkout screen, and the receipt check by the door. At Kroger, an older shopper can feel the problem earlier, right in the aisle, while staring at a sale tag that needs an app. Number 2, Kroger. Older shoppers know Kroger from weekly ads, store brands, pharmacy refills, and loyalty cards that used to feel simple. For years, the routine felt simple enough. Bring the card, get the sale price, buy groceries, and go home. Kroger's old routine got harder once loyalty cards became tied to apps, digital coupons, shopper profiles, and personalized offers. Consumer Reports reported in 2025 that Kroger's loyalty program collected extensive data and used shopper profiles that could include income-related predictions and other household details. Kroger has said its data and digital tools help serve customers and offer deals. A senior doesn't need a debate about data privacy to feel the problem at the shelf. She can stand in front of the same cereal as everyone else, see the same sale tag, and still miss the best price because the discount requires a digital coupon inside an app. A 72-year-old using a flip phone shouldn't need tech support to buy cereal at the advertised price. An 80-year-old who forgot an app password shouldn't have to hold up the line while a cashier tries to explain why the coupon didn't apply. Kroger also drew attention from lawmakers over electronic shelf labels. Digital shelf tags can help stores update prices faster and reduce labor. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bob Casey warned that the same technology could raise concerns about dynamic pricing if companies ever used it to change prices in ways shoppers can't easily track. Kroger has pushed back on claims that it uses digital tags for surge pricing. Older shoppers on fixed grocery budgets still plan around stable prices for milk, eggs, soup, coffee, and meat. Nobody wants to wonder whether coffee changed price between the weekly ad and the checkout lane. Prepared meals bring another concern because many seniors buy them when cooking from scratch gets harder. A prepared pasta listeria outbreak linked to Fresh Realm-made meals affected products sold under labels including Kroger's Home Chef and Walmart's Market Side. FDA and CDC updates listed 28 illnesses, 27 hospitalizations, 7 deaths, and 1 fetal loss across 19 states. Kroger didn't manufacture those meals, but seniors don't experience food safety through a supply chain chart. An older shopper experiences it when a ready meal from a trusted store brand goes into the microwave because standing at the stove has become harder. Have you ever missed a Kroger sale because the discount was in the app instead of on the shelf? Kroger gets frustrating when the shelf tag says sale, but the real discount sits behind a phone screen. Dollar General creates a different kind of pressure because some seniors aren't choosing it for the best deal. They're choosing it because it's the closest place left. Number 1, Dollar General. Dollar General doesn't look like a senior grocery problem until you live in a town where it's the closest place to buy milk, cereal, canned soup, toilet paper, cold medicine, and a frozen dinner. For a lot of older shoppers, that yellow sign isn't a quick stop anymore. It becomes the weekly grocery trip because the full supermarket is too far away, the ride is too expensive, or driving across town no longer feels safe. Dollar General reported more than 20,000 stores across its banners by early 2026, giving it a reach most grocery chains can't match. In small towns, that many stores can be useful when someone only needs a few basics close to home. A Dollar General near home can help with quick basics, but it gets rough when an older shopper has to rely on it for most of the week's food. In Missouri, a lawsuit said 92 of 147 inspected Dollar General stores failed price checks, with an average overcharge of $2.71 and some differences reaching at $6.50 per item. Pennsylvania reached a $1.55 million settlement after investigators said Dollar General stores failed more than 40% of pricing accuracy inspections from 2019 through to 2023. Colorado also reached a $400,000 settlement over pricing issues. A few extra dollars may not ruin a younger shopper's week. For a senior living on Social Security, grocery money, gas money, and prescription money often come from the same small pool. In July 2024, OSHA announced a $12 million settlement with Dollar General over hazards such as blocked exits, unsafe storage, and blocked access to fire extinguishers. For a customer using a cane, crowded aisles aren't just messy. Boxes, rolltainers, and narrow paths change how safe the trip feels from the moment someone walks in. Dollar General also lacks many full-service support seniors may need from a grocery store, including a standard pharmacy, a broad fresh food section in many locations, and enough staffing to make help easy to find. A store can be close and still leave older shoppers with fewer healthy choices, less help, and more work at checkout. Have you ever checked a Dollar General receipt and found a different price than the shelf tag? Dollar General lands hardest on seniors in towns where a short trip has quietly become the only realistic trip. After those 5, let's be fair, a good grocery store for seniors doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't need marble floors, trendy displays, or 10 kinds of imported sparkling water. For a lot of older shoppers, a good store is simply one where the price is clear, the walk isn't too long, and nobody makes them feel like a problem for needing a little extra time. That's where the better side of the list starts. Number 5, Aldi. Aldi works for seniors who want a short trip. Fewer aisles, fewer choices, and less walking before the cart gets full. Aldi locations don't usually feel like giant supermarkets where a person has to cross half the building just to find eggs and bread. For someone who gets tired halfway through a big store, Aldi's smaller layout can feel like a break. ACSI's 2026 supermarket data put Aldi at 81, a solid score for a chain built around value and simplicity. Aldi also avoids one of the biggest frustrations in modern grocery shopping, forcing every deal through a loyalty account. No senior should need a smartphone, a password, and a data profile just to buy cheaper canned tomatoes. Aldi keeps prices low partly by leaving out services some seniors still need. Aldi doesn't have a pharmacy, carry-out service isn't part of the normal trip, shoppers bag their own groceries, and the cart system can annoy people who don't want to hunt for a quarter before they even start. Aldi is easier for seniors who can still bag their own groceries, carry lighter loads, and don't need a pharmacy in the same trip. For someone with arthritis, balance issues, or a long medication list, Aldi may be only part of the answer. Do you like Aldi because it's simple, or do you avoid it because there isn't enough help? Costco asks more from the shopper at the start, with the membership, the big parking lot, and the long walk inside. For some seniors, though, the savings can show up later in a place that really counts, the pharmacy counter. Number 4, Costco. Costco can save seniors real money, but the parking lot, the long aisles, and the bulk sizes can turn the trip into work. A warehouse club isn't ideal for every older shopper, especially when the parking lot is crowded, the cart is heavy, and the pharmacy sits far from the entrance. Bulk packages also don't always make sense for someone cooking for one person. A 48-pack of anything isn't useful if half of it expires before a widow can use it. Costco makes sense when pharmacy savings, gas savings, or bulk basics are worth the long aisles and the membership fee. A 2024 study comparing common generic drug prices found Costco had the lowest price for 31% of the drugs or formulations studied. For seniors taking several long-term medications, one strong prescription saving can do more than a dozen grocery coupons. Costco's basic Gold Star membership costs $65 a year, so the math depends on how someone shops. A senior who only buys a few bananas and a rotisserie chicken once a month may not get enough value. A senior who uses the pharmacy, buys gas, shares bulk groceries with family, and sticks to common household items may recover that fee quickly. Costco's staffing model also helps older shoppers who need a real answer, not a shrug. A familiar employee is useful when someone needs help lifting a case of water, finding a supplement, or understanding where the pharmacy line begins. Costco's receipt check at the door can feel less awkward than the suspicion some shoppers feel at other chains because members expect it as part of the warehouse system. Has your Costco membership paid for itself through prescriptions, gas, or groceries? Costco can be worth the work when the savings are real. H-E-B feels different because Texans often talk about it like a store that shows up when the week gets rough. Number 3, H-E-B. Ask a Texan about H-E-B, and you may get a speech before you get a shopping tip. Texans don't talk about H-E-B that way just because of state pride. Many have watched the store stay stocked during storms, freezes, shortages, and rough weeks when a working grocery store suddenly feels like a lifeline. For older shoppers in Texas, H-E-B often means a stocked store, a real pharmacy, fresh departments that feel cared for, and employees who understand the local community. In ACSI's 2026 survey, H-E-B scored 83, which fits the way many Texans talk about the store after storms and shortages. The chain operates hundreds of stores, mostly in Texas, which limits how useful it is for viewers outside the region. For seniors who can shop there, H-E-B feels steady because an older shopper can usually get the medicine, the groceries, and the storm basics without turning the day into 3 errands. H-E-B's emergency planning becomes useful when older customers need water, bread, prescriptions, batteries, and basic food before a storm. A senior doesn't care about logistics as a business buzzword. He cares whether the store still has what he needs when the weather report turns ugly. A digital coupon can't replace the memory of a store staying stocked during a bad week. H-E-B's biggest limit is simple. Most Americans can't shop there. For Texans, H-E-B shows what a senior-friendly grocery trip can look like when staffing, pharmacy, fresh food, and emergency planning all work together. Texans, what does H-E-B do that other grocery chains still don't understand? H-E-B is about steadiness. Publix wins loyalty in a more ordinary moment, when someone needs help getting the groceries from the cart into the car. Number 2, Publix. Older shoppers know Publix isn't usually the cheapest grocery store in town. Many still go because Publix treats help as part of the grocery trip, not a special favor. Publix's carryout policy says employees can take groceries to a customer's vehicle, and tipping isn't allowed. A healthy 30-year-old may barely notice that service. A 73-year-old woman recovering from surgery may plan her whole trip around it. A man with heart trouble may need help with water, cat litter, or heavy bags. Someone taking blood thinners may not want to risk a fall in the parking lot while lifting groceries into the trunk. Publix also keeps a strong pharmacy presence in many of its stores. The company's famous free prescription program ended in 2022 after more than 100 million free prescriptions have been filled over the life of the program. Even though that program is gone, the history still explains why many seniors came to associate Publix with healthcare help, not just groceries. A CSI's 2026 data put Publix at 84, one of the highest scores in the supermarket category. The score matches what many older shoppers describe: cleaner stores, more visible staff, better bagging, and less of the figure it out yourself feeling that has taken over parts of retail. Publix still has trade-offs because prices can run higher than Aldi, Walmart, or warehouse clubs, and digital deals still exist. A senior may accept those trade-offs when the store makes asking for help feel normal instead of embarrassing. Does your Publix still offer to take groceries to the car without making you feel like you're asking for a favor? Publix makes help feel normal. Trader Joe's takes a different route by making the trip feel simpler before a shopper even needs to ask. Number 1. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's gets a lot right for seniors by keeping the trip simple. Clear prices on the shelf and a real person at checkout. ACSI's 2026 data ranked Trader Joe's at 86, the highest score among major supermarket chains. Trader Joe's doesn't run a traditional loyalty card program. The company says it doesn't offer coupons, membership cards, or discounts. For older shoppers, no coupons and no membership cards mean fewer passwords, fewer missed deals, and fewer surprises at the register. A senior doesn't have to wonder whether the real price is in the app. No one has to clip a digital coupon, scan a QR code, or give up more personal data just to get the deal another shopper saw. The price on the shelf is the price everyone gets. Trader Joe's stores are also smaller than many supermarkets, which can make the trip easier for people who don't want to cross a huge building for 3 items. Checkout also feels different because cashiers talk to customers, bag groceries, answer product questions, and keep the transaction human. For seniors who live alone, a normal friendly exchange at the register may be the only relaxed conversation they have that afternoon. Trader Joe's still has limits. No pharmacy, limited national brand selection, busy parking lots in many locations, and a product mix that may not fit every medical diet or budget. If pharmacy access is the most important category, Publix or Costco can make a stronger case. Trader Joe's feels easier because an older shopper can walk in, read the shelf price, talk to a cashier, and leave without chasing an app deal. Older shoppers don't have to chase app-only pricing, manage a loyalty account, or wonder whether the best deal belongs to someone with a newer phone. Would you rather have a grocery store with a pharmacy, or a grocery store where every price is simple and every checkout lane still feels human? Trader Joe's won't replace a pharmacy trip, but it does show how much easier grocery shopping feels when the store keeps prices clear and checkout human. A grocery store doesn't need to be perfect to work well for seniors. Clear prices, safe aisles, enough staff, clean food departments, a useful pharmacy, and a checkout lane with a real person can change the whole trip. Dollar General, Kroger, Walmart, Safeway, and Food Line all raise different concerns, from price accuracy and data-heavy deals to pharmacy cuts, thin staffing, and food safety worries. Trader Joe's keeps prices simple. Publix helps at the car. H-E-B gives Texans a steadier trip. Costco can save money at the pharmacy. And Aldi keeps the store small enough to finish quickly. If your local grocery store has changed since 2020, write the chain name and the biggest difference you've noticed. Longer lines, fewer cashiers, closed pharmacies, better service, worse prices, blocked aisles. Seniors in other towns may be seeing the same thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.